Fire in the hole! Let's cook some fish! Stay tuned! Okay, I got my cast iron skillet on the fire. We're going to make our stuffing first. And we're going to throw down with the usual Tsangs stir-fry oil. You all know about Tsangs stir-fry oil. It's what I always use for everything. And we're going to throw some of that in the bottom of that pan and use that to stir-fry our veggies. Get a bunch of that in there. And that's good stuff. It brings on some really good garlic and cilantro flavors. And we're going to sweat down an onion, a small onion that's been finely diced. Get that in our pan. For our crab meat stuffing for our salmon. Okay, next thing we got to do is some red and green bell pepper that's been finely diced. That goes in our stuffing too. Don't that pretty? That's looking pretty good so far. I'm going to cook that up a little bit. Get that sweated down. To that we're going to add some garlic. About 4 cloves of garlic that have been finely diced. Everything's finely diced in this one. We got some garlic in there. Sweat that down. Garlic. Got some good flavors going on so far. Now, let's add some Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay is the rockin' seasoning for seafood. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of Old Bay in there. Old Bay, nothing better. Put that in there. Cook that up. Get that cooked up. Smells good already. Okay, our stuffing's coming together. Okay, the veggies have cooked down quite a bit, so we're going to add our crab meat into that. That's a 8-ounce can of crab meat. We're going to saute that up a little bit. It doesn't take long to cook crab meat. Cook fast. So we're going to cook that up real quick, like. Mix that in with those veggies. That crab meat, oh man, smells good already. Smelling good. And I'll tell you what, if you took this recipe and mixed in a little bit of mayonnaise, and I'm finna put some breadcrumbs in there too. Little breadcrumbs and mayonnaise, you got the makings of a world-class crab cake. So if you ever want to make a crab cake, all you got to do is make this recipe, add some breadcrumbs and mayonnaise and cake them up and fry them, and you got crab cakes. So as a filler, we're just going to put a little bit of breadcrumbs in there. A little bit of Italian breadcrumbs, just enough to kind of fluff it up a little bit, fluff it out a little bit. There you go. That's about, I don't know, half a cup, I'd say, of Italian breadcrumbs, and that'll soak up that oil, you know, dry up that stuffing to make it a little bit more easy to handle. It's got plenty of crab in it. You can see the crab in it, so you don't have to worry about the crab. It's got plenty of crab. So we're not really, you know, thinning our crab out that much. Just enough breadcrumbs. I'm going to toast them up in there. Get it nice and, see, kind of like that. You want to kind of be able to handle it to stuff your meat with. So there you go. That's our crab meat stuffing. We're going to cook that up a little bit and then set it aside. And then we'll go get our salmon and put it in our salmon. So stay tuned. Okay, so I got one of my salmon fillets laid out here. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on it. Pepper, a little Himalayan pink salt. I'm going to take some of that crab meat mixture and lay on top of it like that. And then we're going to roll it up and pin it with a toothpick. At least that's the theory. Yeah, that's going to work. Just like that. Get my toothpick, stick in it, and there you go. That's my stuffed salmon fillet. Now, I got to put some, we're going to brush on a little bit of Dijon mustard all over it. And then we're going to put some brown sugar. We're going to sprinkle some brown sugar on top of that. Dijon mustard and brown sugar. And then we're going to get that on the cedar plank. I got 3 more to make like that. We'll get them on the plank and I'll show you what that looks like, so stay tuned. Okay, my stuffed salmons are on the plank. We're going to cook for about 20 minutes. And that'll give us just enough time to drink a beer, so please stay tuned. Okay, there's my rapidly defrosting Frosty Root Boy mug, and here's today's beer. This is Founders Centennial. Centennial India Pale Ale. So it's a Centennial IPA, Founders Brewing Company, and it's dry hopped with Centennial hops and also brewed with hops. So let's see what this is all about. I've never had a bad beer from Founders, I don't think. But this is a new one on me, Centennial IPA. It pours out a beautiful golden color of an unfiltered IPA. And it's a very nice looking beer, dry hopped and unfiltered. Centennial IPA. Let's take a look at that beautiful ale. Let's take a sniff. What about that froth roll? What do you think about that? Look good, huh? Beautiful, beautiful grapefruit and floral hops, and it's making my mouth dry. Please excuse me while I sip my beer. Ah, that was a bit of a big sip right there. Ah, but it felt good. Man alive. That's a good IPA. I'm going to remember that one, although I think it's a limited release. Centennial IPA from Founders Brewing Company. Looks really good. Tastes really good too. Yes, sir. That's a good beer right there. Okay, so let me check on our fish. Bring you right back. Stay tuned. Okay, my salmon stuffed with crab meat is done. It's got a beautiful glaze from that brown sugar and the brown sugar and Dijon mustard. Let's take a taste of that. See how that tastes. What do you think? Oh yeah, that tastes great. Yep. That's excellent. Yep. I'm not a big fish eater, but I'll eat that every day of the week. Stuffed salmon, crab meat stuffing. Yep, that's looking good. So, like I always say, if you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go over and see my buddy Smoked Reb Barbecue. He could use the subs, he could use the attention. That's some good, good salmon right there. Tasting good. Gonna get me another taste of that. Crab meat stuffing's outstanding. Whoops. I just dropped it all. Mmm. Delicious. Very good. So anyway, like I always say, we may not cook something good, but we will drink a beer. And this Founders IPA is excellent. I highly recommend it. Yep. Just a sip. Okay? Alright. See y'all next week. Bye.